A sudden pulse of static tears through every speaker on Earth, phones, televisions, car radios. Then, silence. A voice, cold and disembodied, crackles through. They're already here. In a single moment, the illusion of peace shatters. Sirens wail across the city. People pour into streets, scanning the skies. The world holds its breath. Then, another signal. A garbled alien language, layered with mechanical distortion, floods the airwaves. It pierces consciousness like a scream from another dimension. The protagonist, Ava Ryden, a systems analyst in her late 30s, with haunted eyes and a sharp mind dulled by grief, watches from her apartment window. Her coffee cup slips from her hand and shatters. "We've been waiting for you," the voice repeats. Ava doesn't move. She doesn't breathe. Her past is clawing back to the surface, and she knows deep down. This moment was never random. It was meant for her. Outside, chaos blooms. Inside, realization dawns. The silence afterward is worse than the broadcast. In her apartment, Ava clutches the edge of the kitchen counter, trembling. Her breathing is shallow, like she's remembering how to exist. On the wall, her old military discharge plaque hangs crooked, the reflection of the swirling green sky shimmering across its surface. She whispers, "No, not again." It's not the first time she's heard voices like that. Years ago, in the desert, she intercepted something she was ordered to forget. Her body had healed, but her mind never did. Now it's back. The voices. The signal. Dot. The pattern. Dot. She grabs her phone. Every app is unresponsive. Instead, a pulsating glyph replaces every icon. Her brother, Elias, was the last person to believe her back then. She hasn't spoken to him in years. As the camera pans to the window, we see her decision written across her face. She's going to find Elias. He warned her once before. Maybe this time she'll listen. Downtown, chaos deepens. Emergency services jammed, cell networks overloaded. Wonged. News anchors attempt to calm the population, but the signal interrupts every broadcast. "We've been waiting for you," repeats again and again. A father in the crowd shields his daughter as drones hover overhead. Police form barricades, but no threat is visible. Only the sky, now glowing in irregular pulses. Ava weaves through the confusion, a hood over her head, her eyes scanning for patterns. This isn't just an invasion. It's a trigger. Something was set into motion. She watches a digital billboard shift mid-ad into a vertical glyph. For a moment, it's as if time slows. The glyph pulses and every phone around her explodes into static. Screams erupt. Ava doesn't flinch. She whispers, "It started." Her memories don't lie. She's seen this before. And it always ends in fire. Ava ducks into a side alley, pushing past crates and forgotten trash bins. The signal's pitch is still in her ears, like a song she can't escape. Her phone buzzes. It's not a message. It's a location somehow burned into her screen. She doesn't question how. She just runs. As she emerges into an underground metro station, red lights pulse across the tunnels. Something's wrong. There are no trains. No people. Only shadows and the low hum of static bleeding from the intercom system. The glyph appears again, this time projected across the station wall. Ava steps forward, hypnotized. Her mind reels with visions, burned landscapes, twisted spires, and a colossal alien face with eyes like collapsing stars. The vision ends as a loudspeaker crackles. "We see you." She stumbles back, breathless. The station feels like a tomb. Night falls hard. The city's power grid flickers, neighborhoods swallowed by rolling blackouts. Ava finds herself at the edge of a ruined industrial zone, the last ping on her phone guiding her here. She steps inside a crumbling control center, walls lined with dusty monitors and peeling maps. One terminal buzzes to life on its own. The glyph again. Only this time, it evolves, shifting, growing more complex. It forms a phrase in English: awaken. The word sears itself into her memory. A hatch opens behind her with a mechanical hiss. She spins, heart pounding, as a figure steps out, tall, humanoid, cloaked in black armor that ripples like oil. Ava steps back, voice caught in her throat. The figure speaks, voice deep and mechanical. You are the key. The lights cut. Darkness swallows them both. The cold wind cuts through the ruins as Ava emerges from the industrial zone, shaken. The armored figure's words, "You are the key," echo in her mind like a curse. Her breath clouds in the dawn light as she walks alone through debris and silence. Fires burn in the distance, and helicopters sweep overhead, searching. Her phone finally pings. It's Elias. Just one word: meet. She stares at the screen, her hands trembling. Their last conversation had ended in shouting, blame and silence. And now he's reaching out. The glyph still pulses faintly on her home screen like a heartbeat. The signal changed something, not just in the world, but in her. As she walks toward the rendezvous point, memories flash. Elias screaming in a hospital hallway, her body strapped to a gurney. "You saw it too," he had said back then. Ava whispers now, "We were right." And somewhere in the sky above, something listens. The cafe is abandoned, half its walls torn open by some unseen blast. Sunlight streaks through holes in the ceiling. Ava waits in the far booth, hood up, hand wrapped around a cracked ceramic mug. She doesn't drink. She watches the entrance. Then he appears, Elias Ryden, mid-30s, scruffy, lean, and hard-eyed. He carries a heavy duffel, scanning the room before locking eyes with her. No words at first. Just the silent weight of history crashing into the present. Finally, Elias said, "You saw it again." Ava nodded. "They said I'm the key." Elias's eyes flicker. Then they're almost ready. She leans in. "You always knew, didn't you?" He doesn't answer. Instead, he opens the duffel and slides something across the table. A metallic disc etched with the same glyph from the broadcasts. Ava's fingers hesitate over it. Elias said, "It's not a weapon, it's a map." And somewhere far beneath them, something reacts to their touch. They move through the underground, a forgotten service tunnel beneath the city, accessible only by a decaying elevator shaft Elias had once mapped during his research. The air is thick, electric. Pipes hiss. The further they descend, the more the glyph flickers on the disc. Ava's hands tremble every time it pulses. Elias speaks as they walk. "After the first transmission years ago, they made me disappear. I only survived by pretending I forgot." Ava asks, "So why contact me now?" Elias looks at her, face grim. "Because they've activated the gate." Ava stops in her tracks. "What gate?" He points ahead. "That." A massive circular chamber yawns open before them, lined with alien script humming faintly. Floating above the center, a rotating tetrahedral construct of light and matter. Ava steps forward, voice barely audible. "It's not a gate." She touches the edge. "It's a memory." Ava's fingers hover over the object as it pulses with fragments of her childhood. Her mother's voice, fire in the sky, a strange lullaby in a language she never understood. Her knees buckle. Elias catches her. "They buried this in you," he says. "The glyph isn't alien, it's part of your genetic code." Ava stares at him. "You knew?" He nods. "I tried to forget. They didn't let me." The tetrahedron shifts again, displaying maps of Earth, constellations, and 3 flashing red zones. Elias mutters, "Activation sites." Ava breathes heavily. This isn't a war. It's a ritual. Behind them something stirs, metal grating screeches. Elias draws his weapon, motioning her back. A beam of green light cuts the air. A humanoid figure descends from a hidden panel, speaking in that same garbled tone. Ava doesn't run. She steps toward it. I understand you now. It stops moving. The figure lands with a soft impact. Its body is smooth, metallic, yet organic, like it was grown rather than built. Its face lacks features, yet its head tilts with interest. Elias raises his weapon again, but Ava lowers it gently. No, she says. It's not here to kill. The being's chest opens, not mechanically but like petals unfurling. A small sphere rises from within, glowing with a slow, rhythmic pulse. Ava steps forward, placing her hand above it. Her veins illuminate faintly. The glyph from her phone burns into the air around them, becoming a ring of symbols. The being speaks, not in words, but in resonance. Elias collapses, hands over ears. Ava absorbs the message without pain. They're not invading, she says. They're waking us up. The being retracts. The glyph vanishes. Ava turns to Elias. We were never the target. We were the seed. The sky above the city has changed. The auroras haven't faded. They've grown brighter, pulsing with the glyphs like a living countdown. Government drones sweep the streets below, scanning, tagging and silencing anyone showing reaction signatures. Elias drives them through the outskirts, avoiding checkpoints, his face unreadable. Ava watches the sky, her hands still glowing faintly. They're afraid of us, she murmurs. Elias doesn't answer. Instead, he pulls into an abandoned government lab, camouflaged beneath a derelict shopping center. Inside, files rot in steel drawers, and the hum of forgotten machinery buzzes faintly through the concrete. Ava wipes dust from a monitor. The glyph appears again. Only now it overlays maps of human DNA. Project Prometheus. Elias growls. This is where they built it. The hybrid program. Ava's breath hitches. Built it? Elias nods. Us. She steps back, nausea rising. You mean, I wasn't born. I was made. Elias flips open a locked crate buried beneath broken lab equipment. Dosh. Inside, faded medical files, birth records, non-matching public databases. Ava finds hers. Her photo. Her name. But the place of origin is blacked out, replaced with a project code, PM17. Her hands shake as she reads. Subject exhibits accelerated neural response to non-human frequency bands. She backs away, as if the paper burns. They lied to me, she whispers. Elias says nothing. Instead, he pulls a hidden lever. A steel wall creaks open, revealing rows of cryopods, most cracked, some still lit from within. Ava moves through them slowly. One pod remains intact. Inside floats a small child. Her face, identical to Ava's at age 7. She gasps, covering her mouth. That's not possible. Elias murmurs. It is. You were the first. But you weren't the only one. Outside, the sky turns blood red at the horizon. An atmospheric distortion as alien structures begin to phase into reality. Military convoys race past in silence. Ava and Elias move underground, deeper through old tunnel networks, leading to an old defense substation. Inside, encrypted signals blast from rusted speakers. Ava pauses. The voice, her voice, speaks in reverse. Memory loop initiated. She staggers, clutching her head. Elias kneels beside her, shouting, but his voice fades into static. Ava drops into a seizure of images. Her birth, not in a hospital but in a sterile tank. A woman, her mother, with hollow eyes walking away. Soldiers injecting her with glowing serum. She screams. Then silence. When she awakens, she's alone. Elias is gone. The radio sputters one final phrase in her own voice. You are ready. Ava moves through the tunnels in silence now, changed. Her breath is steadier. Her posture sharper. Whatever she saw, it broke something, but also woke something else. At a junction, she finds blood, Elias's duffel shredded, no body. She follows the trail until a shadow steps into her path. It's Lieutenant Mara Voss, military intelligence, long thought dead. Voss smirks. You look just like her. Ava spits. My mother. Voss nods. She volunteered you. Thought you could save us. She holds up a hollow display of Earth, covered in red zones. But they made you into something better. Something we couldn't control. Voss steps closer, whispering, that's why we let the invasion happen. To flush you out. Ava stares at her. And now what? Voss shrugs. Now we test if you're worth saving. Gunfire erupts. Smoke fills the corridor. Ava coughs, body bruised, eyes burning. Voss is gone. Her display lies shattered nearby, red zones still glowing on the fragments. Ava stumbles forward, blood dripping from her lip. She finds Elias slumped against a wall, alive, barely. They used us, he croaks. But you. They fear you. Ava kneels beside him, gripping his hand. Then they should. She takes his data chip from his belt and plugs it into the terminal behind them. A network boots, visuals of alien code rewriting Earth's defense systems. One option pulses on the screen, transmit truth. Ava hesitates. If she pushes it, the world changes forever. No more hiding, she whispers. She hits send. Across the planet, screens flicker to life. The glyphs reappear. The world watches as a face, Ava's, appears, and says, we were never alone. But now we know who we are. The broadcast spreads like wildfire. Across cities and continents, people gather around screens as Ava's message plays. Some cheer. Others riot. Power grids flicker. Communications collapse. Ava and Elias hide inside a hollowed-out bunker beneath a crumbling university. We don't have long, Elias says, pressing gauze to his side. Ava accesses a secured server, what Voss didn't want her to find. Files load. Project Iris. Human-alien integration trials. Ava scrolls through footage, screaming children, glyphs projected into brain matter, subjects dissolving. Her name appears in over a dozen logs. Then, she finds another. Subject, Elias Ryden. She spins to him, heart cracking. You were part of this? Elias looks away. I didn't remember. Until now. She backs away. You lied to me. He says softly. I was protecting you. But the damage is done. Ava realizes she was never alone. She was always watched, even by him. She flees the bunker, her mind spiraling. Rain lashes the ruined city as she stumbles through alleys and broken streets. Everywhere, her face stares back from screens still playing the broadcast. Citizens shout her name, some in awe, some in rage. She hides her face under a hood, pushing forward. Her thoughts blur with childhood memories. Elias holding her hand in the dark, teaching her to decode signals. His voice, now hollow, echoes in her ears. I didn't remember. Ava stops before a shattered storefront, her reflection fractured in the broken glass. Behind it, a TV flickers with breaking news. A survivor claiming Ava fabricated everything. The feed shifts to Voss. She's alive. Ava Ryden is a threat to planetary security, Voss declares. She must be neutralized. Ava clenches her fists. You want war, she whispers. I'll give you one. Ava returns to the metro chamber, alone. The glyphs still pulse along the walls, waiting. The orb left by the humanoid glows faintly in its pedestal. She kneels, breath steady now. You were right. I needed to wake up. She places her hand on the orb. Her veins light again, but this time, the glyphs don't just react, they respond. Patterns shift, unfolding into a spiraling tower of light that illuminates the room. Visions rush into her mind, planets burned, cities crushed, entire species falling. But also, resistance, unity, transformation. And finally, her mother whispering in the alien tongue. You are the convergence. The light collapses. Ava staggers backward, gasping. The chamber door opens. Elias stands there, pale and bleeding. I remembered everything, he says. They turned me into your leash. Ava's voice hardens. Then break it, or I'll break you. Elias steps inside, dropping his gun. I was assigned to control you, from the beginning. Ava circles him slowly. Then why help me? His voice trembles. Because I remembered before they told me. And I chose you. Ava studies him, unsure whether to believe. The glyphs around them shimmer. Suddenly, the walls shake. An explosion. Voss's strike team breaches the chamber. Flashbangs detonate. Elias tackles Ava to the ground, shielding her from the blast. Chaos erupts. Ava fights like lightning, every nerve enhanced by the glyph's energy. She disables 3 soldiers in seconds. Elias shoots another. Then Voss steps through the smoke, calm and armored. You're not a savior, Ava. You're a design flaw. Ava growls, blood on her lip. And you're obsolete. The chamber hums louder. Something deeper has awakened. A blinding light floods the chamber. All sound cuts. The orb pulses, then dissolves into energy, flowing into Ava. Her body lifts inches off the floor, surrounded by glyphs and charged static. Voss aims her weapon, but is frozen mid-step, eyes wide. Ava's voice echoes, not from her mouth but from everywhere. You tried to bind me, but I was never yours to control. The glyphs etch themselves into the walls, glowing brighter. Elias watches in awe. Voss screams, firing. The bullets dissolve before reaching Ava that war. She raises one hand. With a burst of harmonic force, Voss is thrown across the chamber and vanishes in the blinding light. Ava lowers gently to the floor. Her eyes glow faintly. Elias says, "What are you now?" She turns. What I was always meant to be. The glyphs fade into silence. The war has truly begun. The chamber is quiet now. Ava and Elias sit in the afterglow, backs against the stone. Ava's skin still shimmers faintly, like circuitry beneath flesh. I felt them all, she says. Every voice, every mind they touched. Elias doesn't speak. He's shaking. Ava turns to him. There's more. She taps the floor. A new glyph emerges, forming a map, not of Earth, but the stars. 3 systems blink red. These aren't invasion points, she says. They're beacons. This is a call. Elias leans in. For what? Ava whispers, reclamation. Before he can ask more, a second projection rises, an older man in military dress. Her father, or someone who once was. If you're seeing this, the hologram says, Project Eon was successful. You are the last architect. Ava's hands drop P. Her voice is barely a breath. They didn't just modify me. They built me to rebuild them. The recording continues, flickering with static. We shattered the Alliance long ago, the hologram says. We used them, took their science, broke their worlds, then erased the truth from our own, but legacy finds its way back. Ava can barely look. My blood, my name, it's not human. Elias says, you're not them either. The hologram ends with a line that etches itself into her. Only one of your line will survive. And choose. The map shrinks to a countdown. 36 hours. Ava stands. We have to reach the array. Elias freezes. That's orbital. It's sealed. She turns, more determined than ever. Then we break it open. Outside, tremors ripple through the earth. Alien towers rise from deep below, awakening across continents. The world doesn't have days left. It has hours. And Ava is its only honest voice now. They emerge into a world unrecognizable. Massive alien spires erupt from fault lines and oceans, reshaping continents. The skies are thick with storm clouds and glyph trails. Nations fall quiet. Fear gives way to reverence. Ava and Elias race toward the last active launch pad. Cape Stratus, a facility once buried under secrecy. As they approach, defense drones activate. Ava raises her hand. They stop mid-air, scanning her. Then, they kneel. The soldiers at the gates, stunned, but obedient, let her through. Inside the hangar, a single craft awaits, a sleek hybrid vessel pulsing with blue light. Elias whispers, "You're not just the key. You're the command signal." Ava replies, "I don't want to be, but I will be." As they board, the spires around the world begin to pulse in sync. The countdown has begun. The launch shakes the ground. Their ship ascends into the atmosphere, stars unfolding above. Ava sits in the pilot's seat, though she doesn't steer. The ship responds to her thoughts, her memories. Screens bloom around them, each showing a region of Earth. Cities transforming, towers sensing to a frequency only she hears. Elias watches in silence as she connects to the array, an ancient orbital station left dormant since the first contact war. The ship docks. The door opens. The array is alive. Lights thrum as Ava steps onto the control deck, her presence unlocking systems that haven't moved in decades. "This is where they ended it," Elias says. Ava nods. "And where we begin again." She touches the core. The glyphs respond instantly. Around Earth, the towers activate. Energy surges skyward. A signal prepares to launch, one that will reach every world once allied to humanity. The final sequence begins. A glyph spiral encircles Ava as she prepares to transmit the signal. Elias paces, tense. "What if they come? All of them?" Ava answers without fear. "Then we'll face them. But we won't lie anymore." She transmits. Across the galaxy, dormant relays reawaken. Forgotten civilizations stir. Some respond. Others go dark. In the array's chamber, a screen lights up, receiving signals. One symbol flashes, recognition. Then another, threat. Then another, homecoming. Ava steps back, overwhelmed. They remember us. Elias watches as more responses arrive. Some want peace, others, vengeance. Ava says, "Then it's begun." Outside, Earth glows with tower energy. The sky is no longer dark. Ava turns to Elias. "No more hiding, no more running. We tell them everything." And in that moment Earth speaks again, this time not in fear, but in truth. The array pulses like a heart in orbit. Ava stands at its center, every screen projecting galactic feedback. Signals continue to pour in, thousands of worlds, some marked as allies, others tagged in red, hostile. Elias scans the patterns. "This is bigger than we thought." Ava replies, "It always was." A final warning flashes, full integration pending, final override required. The glyphs spin faster. If she confirms, Earth will transmit its origin code, linking human DNA with the alien source species. A message to the universe. We remember who we are. Elias hesitates. "Once you send it, they'll know we're alive. All of them." Ava looks out the viewport. Cities below already transform, architecture bending, evolving. They already know. Her voice is steady. The only difference is whether we choose to hide or choose to stand. Her hand hovers over the panel and waits. The array's energy spikes. Ava lowers her hand without pressing the override. She turns to Elias. "What if they're right to fear us?" Elias responds, "Because of what we might become?" Ava nods. "We were made for something. But what if it's not peace?" Elias sets his hand on her shoulder. "Then we define what we are, not them, not the ones who built you." Suddenly, a warning siren blares. A ship breaches the perimeter. Voss's faction, reborn as the Terran Dominion, a rogue paramilitary force. They've hijacked a secondary relay satellite. Ava watches as a counter-command begins broadcasting. a virus meant to overwrite her signal. They want to erase us, she whispers. Elias says, then we can't wait. She looks back at the panel. Not just Earth. Everyone. She slams her palm down. The glyphs surge with fire. Ava's command unleashes a pulse of energy so powerful, the array's windows darken to protect against the flare. Across Earth, glyph towers ignite, forming a synchronized lattice. In space, alien relays activate, sending her signal through wormholes and light corridors. At the same time, Voss's satellite erupts in a counterflare, broadcasting interference. The array shudders. Systems flicker. Ava grips the console. They're trying to fracture the message. Elias reroutes systems, sweat on his brow. If they overwrite your identity now, the whole signal collapses. Ava steps into the transmission beam itself. Her body becomes the conductor. Light floods her skin. Her voice echoes through the system. You will not erase us again. They stabilize. Her pulse synchronizes with the array. Elias watches, terrified, and in awe. She's becoming the signal. The clash of signals reaches its apex. Across the world, people fall to their knees, not in worship, but in awakening. Those attuned to the glyphs feel something unlocking. Memories not their own. Languages they shouldn't understand. Visions of the stars. Meanwhile, Voss's fleet begins to disintegrate, unprepared for the harmonic backlash Ava's presence is generating. On the array, her voice is no longer singular. It becomes layered, multiversal, a fusion of what humanity was and what it might become. Elias speaks into the comms. It's working. They can't fight it. In the glyph light, Ava floats, transcendent. The virus burns out. The array stabilizes. From across the galaxy, acknowledgements stream in, reactivated. Signal confirmed. Origin unlocked. Ava lands lightly. Her eyes are no longer afraid. We've arrived, she says. Now let's see who dares to greet us. Silence returns to the chamber. No alarms. No interference. Just clarity. Ava walks to the center console, steady and transformed. The glyphs now follow her, like extensions of her breath. She places her hand on the glass and opens the galactic channel. Planets blink to life, one by one, each answering her. Elias approaches slowly. What now? Ava turns to him, her voice like quiet thunder. Now we build. Earth's towers begin lowering energy fields, revealing cities reshaped but unharmed, more alive than ever. A new world is forming, and Ava is its bridge. As stars shimmer beyond the viewport, a final transmission begins auto-decrypting, coordinates to something unknown. Ava stares at it, expression unreadable. There's more, she whispers. This wasn't the end. It was their test. Elias steps beside her. So what's next? Ava answers without hesitation. We find who tested us, and we make them remember. The world doesn't erupt in war. Not yet. In the days that follow Ava's transmission, silence becomes the loudest response. The towers remain, humming quietly. The glyphs fade from the sky, but linger in dreams. Around the globe, people awaken with memories they've never lived. Sightlines of alien planets, feelings from extinct species, and words they somehow understand. Ava walks through a transformed city, unrecognized. Buildings now breathe with organic architecture. Vines pulse with data. Children draw glyphs in chalk. Ava pauses at a park bench, watching a man and his daughter feed spectral birds, creatures born from the interface of old Earth and new code. Elias speaks through her earpiece. It's working. No panic, just curiosity. Ava closes her eyes. They're adapting, faster than expected. Above them, far beyond the clouds, something watches back, now aware they are not alone. Inside a reconstructed government archive, Elias decrypts decades of hidden transmissions. What he finds is staggering. Humanity had contact long before the collapse. Failed alliances, betrayed treaties, even factions who still operate off-world. Ava listens in silence. They were grooming Earth to forget, Elias says. Every advancement wasn't discovery. It was control. Ava finds a sealed file, marked Nexus 0. Inside is an image of a child with glowing eyes. Hers. A date, decades before her known birth. How far back does this go? She whispers. Elias highlights coordinates, outer system beacons that predate human civilization. We weren't just the experiment, he says. We were the fallback plan. Ava leans forward, eyes hardening. Then someone built us, for after they failed. The final page loads. 3 words etched in ancient glyph script. They return soon. The star map pulses. One point, far outside known space, now glows with unnatural intensity. It's not a beacon. It's a reply. Elias stares at it, expression unreadable. Who answers a threat with coordinates? Ava says, someone who isn't afraid. She begins outfitting the array's vessel, now tuned to her DNA. As she configures the interface, her reflections split across its crystal hull, fragments of who she's been. Elias joins her. You don't have to go alone. She looks at him. I was never alone. I was just the first. They both stare at the map. Others are waking up. Cross Earth, new hybrids, latent, waiting, begin activating. Some whisper Ava's name without knowing why. Ava boards the vessel. The hangar opens. Stars stretch into infinity. She exhales. No more running. Let's meet our makers. As the ship exits orbit, Earth grows smaller in the viewport. Ava stands at the helm, the vessel responding to her heartbeat, her focus. She connects with its deeper systems, unlocking ancient memories encoded in neural architecture. She sees fragments, wars older than language, cities floating in starlight, beings made of silence and shape. A final glyph appears on the HUD, initiate pathway. She doesn't hesitate. The ship slips into fold space, a corridor of light and distortion. In her mind voices return, not threatening but waiting. Curious. A single phrase echoes, not in fear, but in welcome. She remembers. Elias stands behind her, silent. Ava closes her eyes. Then, let them remember us too. The stars bend. The past meets the present in one long, unbroken line. In a distant system, light fractures. A dormant structure, planet-sized, stirs. From it, shapes emerge. Not ships. Not life forms. Something between. Something old. Their surfaces ripple with the same glyphs Ava carries. They respond to her signal. Not as invaders, but as kin. One turns toward the approaching vessel. Its form splits open, revealing a face Ava has seen in dreams, carved in childhood temples, echoed in her own reflection. A voice, ancient and infinite, speaks into the void. You are the echo of our failure, and the seed of our return. The screen cuts to black. A moment of silence. Then, Ava's voice. The truth has a price. And beneath it, a quiet return of the alien signal, no longer a warning. This time, it's a door. The glyph glows one final time. This isn't the end. It's the signal of the next beginning.